Hope is something that you should always hold on to in life. But sometimes things happen and we lose hope. Sometimes fighters lose and we start to lose hope in them. But today on a Dodson's Corner,
what is this intro? The most long-winded intro I've ever heard.
we're looking at the fighters that we're not giving up hope in.
So true. Hope is what rebellions are built on. Shout out my Star Wars fans.
All right, let's get into it. These are fighters that we're not giving up on. You know, we still got hope in them. We still got faith that they're gonna get it done. You know,
Yeah. Maybe not champions, but they're gonna go on some wins. You know.
yeah, they're still gonna be legit fighters.
They're not washed. Let's say that. We got 8 today. We got a list of 8, but honorable mention for me, I got my boy Robert Whittaker.
Okay.
Now the reason why he's so low, or just an honorable mention, is because he might be washed, bro. He just might be washed. That chin might never recover.
Yeah.
You know, I think he's still skilled, but we seen with Volk, doesn't matter if you're the most skilled fighter ever. You can still get chinned.
Yeah.
And I think his new teeth, you know, that might not save him. So that's my honorable mention. But my actual number 8 is Kamaru Usman. I think this dude, he's been forgotten about, you know, because you see him on ESPN. He's pretty much a broadcaster at this point.
Yeah.
You know, he's just commentating.
Full-time podcaster.
Yeah, exactly. Trying to be like Dawson's Corner. But I think he's still extremely skilled, the most well-rounded in that division, possibly. Very much a Shavkat skill set, great striking, great wrestling, great clinch game. So I think he can come back and pick up some wins even against these high-level prospects. But I also took into account the level of that division and how good the prospects are, which is why he's so low down. He has horrible knees, hasn't fought in a long time, coming off multiple losses in a great division.
Yeah.
I couldn't put him any higher.
Yeah, fair enough. Number 8 for me, this is a guy that I still have faith. I still have hope. I know that he's still a good fighter, but we just talked about a few minutes ago, he might never win again, and that's Alex Pereira.
Dude, don't even put him on the list, man. Of course he's going to win again.
You don't know, but I still have faith, you know?
You gotta.
He still beats any other fighter inside of the light heavyweight division.
Yeah.
You know, you put him up in heavyweight, he still beats guys like, I think, like Pavlovich and Volkov, because I think that they are very unskilled.
Right.
You know, Curtis Blades, easy work, you know? So I still have faith, and if he does want to go on a little heavyweight run, sure, go for it.
Yeah, you deserve it.
Yeah.
Go do your thing.
Just stay away from 185, please.
Oh, gosh. He'd be chinned so fast.
Oh.
Number 7 for me, I got Stephen Thompson. You know, this is my dad's favorite fighter. Got to show some respect. But I think if you look back at Stephen Thompson's last fights, Shavkat, of course, he's going to dominate on the ground. So not much to say there. But then you have Joaquin Buckley. The dude was about to win.
Yeah, he won the first 2 rounds.
He won the first round and then was winning the third round. But people forget. They just look at the KO by Buckley and he won performance of the night or fight of the night or whatever. And they're like, oh yeah, Buckley's this killer. Buckley was genuinely about to lose that fight if he didn't find a KO or at least a big punch. So I think Stephen Thompson still has some of the best range management, some of the best kickboxing in that division. It's just that what we said, chin. It doesn't matter how good you are. If your chin's gone and someone touches you, you're going to go to sleep.
Yeah.
So it really sucks because I love Stephen Thompson, but you know, what can you do?
That's how it goes.
Also, he made us famous on TikTok. So
he did make us famous on TikTok.
Because I'm an idiot and I couldn't remember his resume.
Oh, jeez. All right. My number 7, a fighter I have faith in their skill, their personality, and their drive. I don't know. It's Peyton Talbot. His boxing is so good. You don't see that natural power at bantamweight.
Yeah.
But just everything else is just like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, you just want to smack him.
It's like,
wake up.
It's like that meme. You poke him with a stick. Come on, do something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see him being someone who's just going to be one of those like personality fighters, like kind of just like around the rankings,
Chandler,
but everyone loves.
Yeah,
you know, not everyone loves, but it's very popular.
Yeah, you know what? Like when he fights, it's gonna be good, but it's like he'll never be a title.
He's on a featured prelim. You're like, or he's like on the main card. You're like, oh yeah, for sure. You know, because everyone knows him. But
yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how he bounces back.
Just him and Chiwiwi.
Yeah, just him and Chiwiwi for the 5th time fighting. Yeah. You know you're tuning into that banger. Chiwiwi submits him for the 10th time. Number 6, I got Leon Edwards.
I have Leon Edwards at number
Oh
6.
my goodness. I thought I was gonna take some flack from you for this because I have historically hated on Leon Edwards for this entire channel. But I think he has a good chance at beating Sean Brady if he adapts his style. Thinking back to his previous matchups, he's gone out there and faced good grapplers before and won. He was winning against Bilal in that first fight, like piecing him up. He's won against Kamaru Usman twice. And the third fight on merit. You know, it wasn't just a lucky head kick. Even when he was coming up, he's beaten guys. He's beaten Nate Diaz. You know what I mean? He's beaten so many guys who have better grappling than him and are, you know, for all sense of the word, well-rounded.
Yeah.
And I think if he can go out there a little bit reinvigorated with the, you know, what they call pep in the step, he's going to go out there and do it against Sean Brady, because who wants Sean Brady as your number one contender?
Oh, please no.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like for me, it's like I believe Sean Brady is the favorite in this fight somehow.
Which makes sense a little bit. Grappler, Leon Edwards, people look at his last performance, but that's like a one-off, I think,
Yeah,
you know?
Like I'm pretty confident in Leon Edwards. He's going to get done against Sean Brady. I was going to take Leon Edwards against Jack Della Maddalena.
Interesting.
Maybe if that would just be different, but I think that, you know, the people are severely over hating on Leon Edwards after one loss. It's not like he's gone on a 2 or 3 fight losing streak. One loss, one bad night.
Yeah. Actually, isn't London like this week?
Yeah.
Crazy. That's a banger.
I think it's like a 12 o'clock card.
We get to see Blachowicz come back and fraud check Carlos Oberg. That's what I'm looking forward to the most on that card.
Same.
I feel like the main event might be a little bit of a stinker.
Oh, it's a stinker guarantee.
Yeah. Headshot dead, bruv.
But Blachowicz just getting to fraud check Alberg.
Number 5, I got Tetsuro Taira.
Ooh, okay.
Someone who has taken a loss against Royval but looked very good, and that was for a number one contender spot. Would have for sure gotten the title shot if he beat Royval.
Yeah.
Some of the best grappling in that division. Everyone knows about his body lock. I think if he fights down in the rankings, he beats pretty much anyone. Like I can't think of anyone down in the rankings who has good enough grappling to beat him. You know, he can take a lot of people down at will. Royval has some of the best takedown defense and the best well-rounded abilities in that division, and he was able to get him to the ground and hold him there. Like, just dominate him. And it's not like he's doing lots of damage. I would say that's something I'd like to see him work on. If he wants to keep moving up and winning decisions, he needs to be doing damage on the ground if he can't find that submission. But he's a great fighter, and he's so young, you know? He's so much time to improve. And he's taking his time with his career. You know, he hasn't gone out there in another 4 months and taken another hard matchup like Steve Ursig.
Yeah, he knows that he's young.
Yeah.
He has time. Because the thing is that you get so much better outside of camp.
Yeah.
You know, if you're constantly in camps, you're getting ready for your fights. You're not allowing yourself to grow as a fighter.
Exactly.
That's why, that's one thing that Bo Nickel talks about, you know.
And you listen to the Bo Nickel, the Nickel and Dimes podcast every week, don't you?
It's my favorite thing.
2 white boys.
All right, moving on. My number 5 is Ivo Aslan.
Oh, gosh. Don't get me started on Ivo Aslan, bro.
Dude, I think that was a weird knockout. He just got caught.
Yeah, he got caught.
He was winning that fight, and then all of a sudden just got caught.
Yeah.
It was really random.
I just think light heavyweight's just a joke of a division. Anything can happen. And
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised, you know? He could fight Ank, and I wouldn't be surprised if he KO'd him.
Yeah.
You know, anything can happen with Ivo Aslan. At number 4, I got Steve Ursig.
Okay.
No, this is a risky pick for me because, again,
He's not beating Moreno.
His next matchup is brutal, but man, he's just so skilled. You know, he's so skilled, and we said this in a previous video, but if he would have taken his time and maybe, you know, move his way up slowly in the rankings and gear himself up for that title shot when Pantoja's a little bit older and maybe not as fast, I think he could have been champ. He was already so close in that first fight, but now with, you know, 2 losses, potentially a third one coming up, I don't see a path to victory for him against Moreno. But after that, there's no way they give him any more shots up in the rankings. There's no way. And that's when he starts winning. That's when the comebacks.
He got to rebuild from the bottom.
Exactly.
He didn't even fight those unranked flyweights.
Yeah. Tim Elliott, he's coming for you.
Yeah.
Joshua Van, that's a tough matchup.
Yeah.
But
this is where I'm going with Ian Gary. I still got faith in the guy.
That's a good pick.
Shavkat is really good, and he like put up a good fight against Shavkat. Gary's still young. Like I think he's like 26.
He's young.
You would think that he's like 30, but he's actually 26. So much time to develop as a fighter still. Has a very good, like, I think his base, his build, and just like his diversity inside the ring. You know, he's very well rounded. So if we just keep on working on a few things.
Yeah. Yeah, he's future world champion, I'd say. Like, he has potential for sure.
Yeah.
The fact that his striking is already such a high level and he's training at such good gyms all the time. Like, I think such an underrated thing is going out to a bunch of different gyms and picking up techniques from a whole bunch of different people. That's what Volk did on the come up, and look how fast he improved. And now Ian Gary's doing it, you know, training with Charles for jiu-jitsu. Like, those guys are just top level, and you learn so much, not just sticking at, you know, Team Alpha or those gyms where it's like they have a way to do it, and they stick to it. Yeah. I think it's good to go out and get experience. So I think that's a great pick. But for my number 3 pick, this is where I got Esteban Ribovic. He took a loss at the Apex, but he looked like it was a close fight, and he's one of those guys who just bites down on the mouthpiece and can throw hands. And obviously his opponent is very good as well. Haq Prasad is like one of the guys who I'm pretty high on ever since I saw him fight in Abu Dhabi. And I think we saw him at the Sphere prove his toughness against Daniel Zellhuber, who's another up-and-coming guy. So he's had some of the hardest matchups that you can have outside of the rankings and looked great in both of them and put on exciting fights in both of them. So I think he'll get maybe a bit of a favorable matchup next time and come back stronger. And he's still super young, so he hasn't taken like a crazy amount of damage in his fights. If he keeps fighting like he does, he might have a short career, but I'm super high on Ribovic still, and I think he'll come back after this loss.
I really like that pick from you.
Yeah.
Because when I saw that, 2 weeks ago when Ribovic lost, I was like, I know.
But
it's like, it's fine. It's fine. He'll come back. And this guy, just like the way that he puts on such good fights every single time.
You're going to know his name.
Like, yeah. Give me him versus one of those top guys in lightweight. Throw him against Holloway.
Facts.
Screw it. He's going to be the next guy to hold that belt. The BMF belt's coming his way. All right, my number 3. That's where I have Wang Kong.
Oh,
my girl, she is coming off of a win, but her hype has really been diminished ever since she lost that fight. In Macau. No, yeah. Macau, yeah, was when she lost. But I still have faith in her. The power. We maybe don't have anyone more powerful than her inside of women's MMA.
Yeah.
And you also just got to look at it. It's a loss against a very unfavorable matchup. She has time to go and work on the striking. On the grappling. The striking is already elite. So even if you just build up like decent takedown defense and decent grappling, being so light, she's fine.
Yeah, it's a division where anything can happen, like light heavyweight. You just get free matchups, and well, there you go. You're in the rankings now, and another win, title shot.
Basically, yeah.
So definitely a good shot for her to get ranked higher. At my number 2 spot, this is where I got Arnold Allen.
Ooh.
Someone who no one talks about him, but I am high on Arnold Allen still. He's been out of the game for quite a while, ever since UFC 304, because he's been dealing with injury, but he's one of those guys that kind of got shoved up into the top and against really hard matchups, that Max Holloway fight. And then it kind of like ruins your confidence for a couple fights because you just get outclassed. You realize that you're not at that top level and you can't match him. So I think that really, Calvin Kattar had the same thing where it just breaks them. But I think Arnold Allen is young enough where he's coming back. I swear he's like only 31 still. Like he's so young, and he's had so much experience. Looked good in the Chikadze fight, and I think some of those featherweight guys at the top are getting older. Mm-hmm. They're all getting older, and
featherweight's an open division now.
Yeah, and I think Arnold Allen has the potential. He'll probably have to fight down once more. I just don't see them giving him a big matchup because he's not the biggest name. He's very chill. So maybe he fights down against, if Lerone Murphy wins his fight, maybe he gets a Lerone Murphy matchup. And then after that, there's Yair Rodriguez. If Patricio Pitbull wins, like, he can win those fights. Those are so winnable for him. He's such a fundamental boxer, and I really like him.
Yeah, I like that pick. My number 2, is where I have Tatsuro Taira. He is, I would say, my guy at featherweight or flyweight. I'm a huge Tatsuro Taira fan. I think that his grappling is and his wrestling is just unreal. That body lock is so good. He is basically the model flyweight, you know, just so much skill on him.
Yeah.
Just young, a little bit inexperienced. The boxing and the striking needs improvements, but he's young and he's gonna make those improvements. You know, he's continuing to grow every single fight. So I'm not worried about him in the slightest. You know, I still would put a lot of money that he's a future champion inside of that division.
I think I could be completely wrong, but in my head, one of the things that hinders Japanese fighters is the fact that there's not like a big community, you know, like I feel like all these American, Brazilian fighters, if they take a loss and someone offers like, oh, come train with me, they can go train with them.
Yeah.
Is Tetsuya Taira really going to go train with Brandon Royval? Because he got invited to train with Brandon Royval after that fight. And I just feel like it's not maybe as easy to pick up things when you're speaking a different language. And yeah, I don't know. That's in my head though. I could be totally wrong. But at my number one pick, there is only one man to make the greatest title comeback of all time. It's Jan Blachowicz. He's going to beat Carlos Ulberg. He's going to get the Ankalaev rematch, beat Ankalaev, then get the Alex Pereira rematch, beat Alex Pereira, retire as the GOAT. What can I say, bro? That's how Jan Blachowicz does it. That's Polish power for you. And it's crazy that he gave Alex Pereira and Ankalaev their toughest respective matchups before that fight. So it clearly proves he's still top level. If he looks like trash in his next fight, it's because of the shoulder injuries, and he's genuinely an old man now. He's literally 75 years old. But I still have faith in him.
Fair enough. Good show. All right, my number one. It's a bantamweight. You have a guess on which bantamweight it is?
You didn't have Jan Blachowicz in your list? That's crazy.
Forgot about that old guy. Forgot about him.
Fair. Bantamweight, is he ranked? Resurgence. Or who are we talking about? What? Yeah, Resurgence?
Resurgence, still hope.
Well, I mean, you said Peyton Talbot.
Yeah, it's not Peyton Talbot.
And Chiwiwi never loses, and he's guaranteed the title.
Next clue, tattoos.
Oh, don't. Just end the video now.
Tell it to me.
It's Cody Garbrandt.
No, it's Sean O'Malley.
Oh, I thought. Did you know I was gonna say Cody Garbrandt?
Yeah. And if you said Sean O'Malley, I was gonna say no and say it was Cody Garbrandt. But no, I still am very confident that Suga is one of the future, future faces of the UFC. He's going to be around for a long time, and he's going to be one of those faces. And that Merab fight, people, I think, discredit him. It was a 3-2 decision. Yeah. People act like Merab just 50-45'd him.
And won the 5th round?
Yeah.
Who does that against Merab, bro?
Yeah. And realistically, if he loses to Merab again, that's fine. I think that Sean O'Malley gets gold back in his career. Maybe that's at featherweight. I keep on saying featherweight. He's 5'11". He'd still be quite large for that division. And it's wide open in featherweight. Maybe not with Volk as a champion. I think Volk's a very tough matchup for Sean O'Malley. But Lopez?
Yeah, that's
Sean versus Lopez?
It's a great fight. Oh. It's a great fight. But I think Sean would have to get the belt back to go up and get a title shot.
It's Sugar Sean O'Malley. Dana would do whatever he wants.
It's true. He could probably ask Dana right now and he'd get a featherweight shot.
Yeah, and it's like, so say Lopez wins. Mm-hmm. The guy in line's Movsar Evloev.
Yeah.
You think Dana's giving Movsar a title shot over Sean?
That's what I'm saying.
Heck no.
Movsar gets shafted again.
Heck no.
3 more wins, and I'd say Movsar's at the title contention.
3 more, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, that's gonna wrap it up for us today. Go down in the comments. Let us know who are some fighters you still have faith in 2025. Who's going to go on a big resurgence this year? While you guys are down there, make sure you guys are liking and subscribing. We appreciate all the love and support. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.
See ya.